Hello, everybody. I want to officially welcome you to Leverage 7.0. I want to believe you are in for a great time with global leaders who are here to share from their wealth of experience, their wealth of knowledge, what they have learned over the years, and what you and I can begin to run with going forward. And I want to humbly welcome you to Leverage 7.0. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are joining us from, I say a big welcome to you and thank you for being a part of this. Yes, this year's Leverage 7.0 has been themed making global impact and, of course, leading beyond borders. I want to believe that for the past 7 years, the Olorunseyi, through the Olorunseyi Foundation, has been committed to a simple but powerful mission, and it is to raise leaders who will in turn take responsibility for nation building and global transformation. So today, we are not just here to mark attendance or to mark calendar. We are here to be a part of the history that we are about making here again today. And every participant that will be joining from different parts of the world today will be leaving this event with informations that will help them make meaningful decisions about their leadership life and not just life, because this will cut across every aspect of life, business, spiritual, that's faith, marriage. You need leadership in all facets of life. So I want to say a very big welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. And I also want to ask that if you are joining us from wherever you are, please do well to share the link on your groups, WhatsApp status, on your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Share it everywhere. Let people be a part of what we are doing today. And we have made this year's event virtual so that you and I and everyone around the world can be part of it. So be ready to learn from these events today. And I believe that you are going to leave this place, leave this event with informations that will help you make meaningful decisions and take strategic steps in life. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you, and I also want to seize this medium to celebrate every team member behind the scene, wherever you are joining us, wherever you are working from. We celebrate you. Thank you for being a part of this. So, at this moment, if your ends is not busy where you are, I want us to welcome to the stage the convener of this great event. Like I said, this is the seventh edition of Leverage, and there's only been one face behind this vision, and that is Dr. Sunday Olorunseyi. So let's welcome Dr. Sunday Olorunseyi as he takes over from here.
Wow. Thank you so much, Jerry, all the way from Lagos, Nigeria. Um, it will interest you to know that this virtual event is being coordinated from different parts of the world. Um, Jerry and the team, they are in Lagos right now. And I can confirm to you that they worked tirelessly towards the success of this event. I celebrate him and all the team members. I am reaching you from the United States right now. And our other guests that will be joining also, they are in different parts of the world and they're going to be a part of this event. Thanks to the advent of technology, technology has transformed the way we live in our world and has transformed the way we do business. I celebrate everyone that joined us early enough. As we speak, the event is being streamed on various platforms. on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, different platforms. So we expect thousands of people to join us from all over the world to be a part of this event. I'm excited to be hosting Leverage. This is the 7th edition. Leverage started with a vision of raising global leaders, leaders in business, leaders in politics, leaders in entertainment, leaders in all spheres of life, because we know that everything rises and falls on leadership. The number one problem globally for almost every nation is leadership. Any nation that gets leadership right will be a great nation. But most times when we talk about leadership, we look at it from a positional point of view, forgetting that leadership is not position. That's why when we want to address leadership properly, it is always best to start from the root. And the root of everything is family. The kind of families we raise will determine the kind of society we live in. And it is within that society that we pick our leaders. So, in most cases, the kind of leaders that that lead or take charge in different spheres are a reflection of a larger percentage of the people, what the people looks like. So if we can change the people from the very fabrics of family, it's going to influence the society, and it will help us elect the right leaders into position of power. So leverage in the last 7 years has impacted people across all spheres of leadership. Today's event is not going to be a different. So that's why I want to start by appreciating you for taking time to be here today. Our speakers are all ready, and I trust that one after the other, they will give us full doses of what it takes to make global impact. I'm just going to share with you briefly some of my thoughts. And these thoughts, they are all from personal experiences. Personal experiences about making global impact. Today, I can say with all humility that the sphere of my influence has gone beyond local to global. This does not happen because of where I live. It didn't happen because of the background that I came from. It happened because, firstly, I had a global perspective about life. Everyone that will lead at a global stage must start by having a global perspective. How do you view the world? When you think about your vision, when you look at your purpose, the reason why you exist, do you look at it from a global point of view? Most of the times, we have made our background our boundaries. But your background should never be your boundary. The fact that you came from a poor family does not mean you cannot become the wealthiest man in your country or globally. Your origin shouldn't determine the sphere of your impact. One of the reasons why I invited Dr. Stephen Akintayo and Dr. Oladipo Clement to come speak to us today was simply because I have a little idea of what their background looks like. And I have an idea of how they've been able to lead beyond that background. So your background should never be your boundary. It doesn't matter where you are right now. If you have a global perspective about leadership, it will determine how you think, how you act, the kind of people you associate with, and even the decisions you make in life. When you have global perspective, at times people might not even understand you because your thinking will be different from others. But all you are doing is opening up yourself for the next phase of your life, because what you can see, others can't see. Another very important way I've been able to attain global impact in leadership is through strategic positioning. You must always be strategically positioned for global opportunities. And by this, I'm talking about building quality relationships, because opportunities are always hidden in relationships. They are never hidden in locations. Because if locations were to make for global impact, then in countries where their economies are relatively stable and they have everything working for them, you should have everybody in those economies successful. But by privilege, I've been to all continents in the world, one way or the other, through travels. And I can confirm to you that we have poor people in every continent. We have non-entities in every continent. We have people whose life does not have meaning in every continent, regardless of how wealthy the continent is. So that's to let you know that success is not in your location. Opportunities will always be hidden in the right relationships you find yourself in. Relationships can create opportunities for you across borders. I'm a living example of how building bridges through relationships can open doors. Each time I reflect and I look at my life and the things I've been able to do, I can always point to how relationship was a major factor in every phase, whether in Nigeria or outside of Nigeria. So if you are looking at making global impact, you must be intentional about creating the right relationships. And by doing this, you are just positioning yourself. For some of us, one of the ways we were able to do this was to make ourselves available to serve. When you serve in an environment of great people, you are only positioning yourself for greatness ahead of you. So you might look at yourself now and say, how do I connect with these right relationships? Start by looking for an opportunity to be a value addition. Look out for what you can add to your society. Look out for what you can add to those people that you want to connect with. Don't always come with a request mentality. Come with a mentality that I want to add to this person, I want to add to this society. And whilst you are busy doing that, you are strategically positioning yourself for leadership and for global impact. It is important to note also that if you want to make global impact, you must align yourself with global priorities and trends. Per time, the world will always have real problems that it wants to solve. You must be thinking about solving real problems. If we look at Africa today, we are encumbered by so many problems left and right, from poverty to poor healthcare to struggling economies. Now, in all of these problems, there are opportunities for global leaders and people willing to make global impact. But most of the time, we make the problem look bigger such that we are not even willing to attempt solving it. But today I want you to know that making global impact has to do with starting small. Though you need to start with excellence, no matter how small it is, but you must start from where you are. So if you look at the global trends today, I've just given an example of Africa. But look globally and ask yourself, what are real problems that exist today? And how can I be a part of the solution to these real problems? You might not be able to solve the whole problems of the world, but there's a problem that you can solve that will make you known globally, that will make your impact be felt globally. But it starts with you identifying that for you to make global impact, then you must solve real problems that aligns with the priorities of the world and the trends. It's important to note also that if you want to make global impact, you must create global networks for growth. And in doing this, I'm talking about investing in people. It is good to invest in projects, but investing in people will open more doors for you than investing in projects. Because people are the true measure of your global impact. How much can your impact be felt by the people in your immediate community? What value are you adding to them? It is how much you invest in these people that opens doors for you. And when we talk about investing in people, you do it those ahead of you, those at your level, and even those that you feel might be your subordinate. Let your life be meaningful enough that people will always want to connect with you and refer you to the next person. You are as good as how you left the last person that you met. Because this life is all about network. And to create global network, you must be conscious of the kind of investment you make in people. Make up your mind to always leave people better than you met them. And that's the road to global impact. Then you need to create scalable solutions. We're in a world where technology has leveled every one of us. Technology is a global bridge to whatever we do. In fact, you can travel the entire world with one passport. And the only passport that can travel the entire world is a passport called technology. When you look at the ranking of passports in the world today, they'll say some passport can travel 190 countries, some can travel 189 countries without visas, and some can travel just 45 countries without visa. But there is one passport that can travel the globe without visa, and that's a passport called technology. If you know how to use it, you can be in a little corner of the world and you'll be heard globally. I give an example here, and I give it with all sense of concern, all sense of pain, and all sense of worry about what is happening in the country I hail from, which is Nigeria. Right now, we see that in the last 1 week, there has been records of violence, of killings, of kidnappings, things that are not palatable to the ear. Of course, this is not new. It's been happening for years. But someone in one corner of the world, a pastor, started talking about it with passion and showing the world evidences with videos. And before you know it, even though that pastor is not in the popular city of Lagos or Abuja in Nigeria, is located somewhere that is not as popular, more like a village. From that point where the pastor started speaking, it was heard globally, to the point that this issue has gotten the attention of the international community. The United States is talking about it. China is talking about it. Different world leaders are discussing this issue. See how with technology, the pastor has been able to reach the world. Now, back in Nigeria, most leaders are beginning to lend their voices to what is happening right now and condemning it. And we are all asking that God will heal the land of Nigeria. And all of this pain and sorrows will go away quickly. But that's the power of technology. That's what technology can do. So, what is it that you are doing right now? How well can you leverage technology to scale it? If you look at businesses that are doing extremely well and are growing in a viral rate, they are mostly businesses that leverage technology to grow. Most of the startups in Africa that became unicorn and was valued at over $1 billion were startups that leverage technology. So, and it applies to you. You must think technology in whatever you are doing. Even if you are an employee in an organization, you can become that superstar employee if you know how to leverage technology to do what you do. I keep telling our employees in our organization at Pertinence Group, I say, see, AI has come to stay. And any employer that will not encourage its employees to use AI to solve everyday problem will be left behind, and that business might even go into extinction very soon. The same way, leveraging the internet, leveraging the what do you call it, using of website and social media to sell. That's the same way AI has come to stay. And the earlier you adopt it, the better. So I tell them, you don't need to struggle to write letters any longer. You don't need to struggle to prepare plans, documents. Most of these things, what you will need 2, 3, 4 hours to do, AI will solve it for you in 5 seconds. Because I am into business development, I do a lot of research and I prepare high volume documents. Now, I know how much time it used to take me to prepare some of these things. The things that will naturally take me 1 week, 2 weeks, that I will be on them trying to put it together. Now, with AI, in less than 10 minutes, you can have everything. By the time you do 2, 3, 4 prompts, AI will generate all that you need for you. You see how the doors of the globe has been opened to us. The more we grow in technology, the more we get the global doors open. So if you are here listening to us today, you might not have that passport that will help you travel to 189 or 190 countries, but you have a passport that can travel the entire world, and that passport is technology. So whatever you are doing today, make sure that you are seen. You can no longer be in the dark. If you remain in the dark, you will be like that young man trying to woo a lady and winking in the dark. The lady does not know that you exist. And that's what leveraging technology is to the world today. In all of this, remain consistent. They say Rome was not built in a day. Don't give up too soon. Your journey towards global impact is real. Don't give up. There are many testimonies or stories of people that you and I thought became accidental successes. No, they weren't accidental successes. They started the journey long ago. Messi was on a 17-year journey of becoming lucky. If you say it's lucky, becoming one of the greatest of all times in football, then you must be lacking in knowledge about consistency. The guy has been there over the years, being consistent, and today is being celebrated. So that the Ronaldo fans will not say we talked about Messi only. Check out Ronaldo's work ethic too as a footballer, and it will suggest to you what it means to be lucky. The man worked so hard that you cannot deny how good he is as a footballer. So whatever it is you are doing today, do you have a YouTube channel that you are operating and it looks as if the numbers are not growing? Please keep on keeping on. That your social media platform that it seems like you had a post and only one or two persons liked it, and it looked as if you are not visible. Keep on keeping on. People do not get to see the process. They only see the success. So that's why they call it success story. But in the real sense of it, it's not success story, it is process story. You went through a process to attain that position. But most times people give up too soon. And that's the reason why they are not able to get to the global stage. Success is not just one time effort, it's an accumulation of efforts. You are bringing down a wall with an hammer, and it's a very solid wall. You may have to hit the wall up to 100 times before it comes down. But note, it wasn't the 100th one that brought the wall down. It was the accumulation of 1 to 99 before the 100 came that brought it down. So on our journey to making global impact, we must stay consistent. That's why today I'm glad that I'm bringing to you people that I've known for so many years that has remained consistent in this journey. If you check them out, you will see that they've been able to tell their stories about how they moved from where they were to a place of significance. But beyond significance now, they are making impact globally. The global doors are open to you. It is your own choice whether you want to walk into them or not. What we have come to discuss today is not just about business strategies. It's about human strategies. Because for us, making global impact is not just making money. It is adding value to lives, changing lives. So watch out. A bulk of what you might be hearing today might relate to human strategies and less of business strategies. I trust that at the end of today's event, every one of us that have dedicated your time to be a part of it, you have something to go home with. And above all, I look forward to you taking steps, actions, 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 and actions. Because everyone that will be coming to speak today, they are practitioners of the things that they teach. For every one of us joining on YouTube, thank you for joining us. You're on Facebook, thank you. You're on LinkedIn, thank you. Across all platforms, we trust that today will be an addition to your life. On this note, as the convener of Leverage 7.0 and hosting the first virtual edition, the first 6th edition was in person and on ground, or let's say hybrid. But this is the first time we will not be on ground, even though we have our team in Lagos, Nigeria on ground. The studio is in Lagos. Thank you, the guys back in Lagos, because I'll be going back to you right now. But for those joining us all over the world, this is the first time we will make it strictly virtual. And we trust that it's going to be an impactful one. God bless you as we continue today. So I'll pass it over to our guys in Lagos to take us on the next step in this journey.
Dr. Olorun's Sheyi Sunday. It is an absolute pleasure to have you as the convener of this wonderful event. Over the past 6 years, Doctor and his wonderful team has done very well to have blessed a lot of people across the world with leverage. And this year, as he has said, the world has now become a global village. And now we're doing it virtually. So alongside with Doctor, I'm saying welcome to every single one of us joining from everywhere we are joining all over the world. Please drop
emojis. I want to see your emojis, please. I want to see your emojis. Drop them kind of exciting emojis to let me know that you are currently live with us. Share those emojis. Tell me where you are actually streaming from. If you're streaming from Nigeria, streaming from Canada, the US, the United Kingdom, even if you are streaming from Russia, please let me know where you are streaming from. Drop that in the comment section. I want to see it. If you're watching on YouTube, you're watching on LinkedIn, whatever platform you are watching on, please drop me emojis, drop me emojis, drop me emojis. I want to see the energy fly across the social media. Doctor, thank you so very much for that opening speech. You did help us see a lot of things around the fact that one keyword I got is the fact that the world has now become a global village, and technology is your passport. So now we're able to host an event, and Doctor is speaking from somewhere out of Nigeria, and a lot of people are actually visiting and seeing this event everywhere they are without having to be in a physical space. And that's the power of technology. You talked about the fact that relationship is also very, very key. And it does not really matter the distance. We can actually reach out to each other and do marvelously well in the things that we're doing. Thank you so very much, sir. Once again, I welcome each and every one of us. Just in case you are just joining, this is Leverage 7.0. We're going to be having a couple of speakers very shortly who are going to be sharing human strategies, as Doctor mentioned, and it's going to be very, very fantastic. You know, Doctor mentioned something around not just you having success stories, but also process stories. So just in case conductor has carried away your change at a particular time, it's part of your process story. And I'm glad to tell you it's one that you should put down your diary, because when you eventually hit that success mark, it will make a whole lot of sense to people who conductor will carry their change in the future. All right, we're going to be going very shortly into a wonderful spoken word performance by one of our wonderful fellow. He is somebody who is close to the house. He's done this a couple of times. He performed also at the World Summit earlier this year. And for the first time, he's going to be coming to the Leverage event, and he's going to be performing. I don't know how you are going to be clapping or giving a resounding clap all over the world, but just drop your clapping emojis, because he's going to be giving us okay, let me not do like motivational speakers before they say perspire to Maguire, right? But he's going to be giving us a performance in the next few minutes. I want to be sure that my audio visuals are ready for me. So please jam your hands together, drop your wonderful emoji as I welcome to the screen Poetic Dave. Can we please jam our hands together for him? Thank you.
Good day, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. I sincerely appreciate. So today I'll be giving a spoken word speech on impact. Impact is a lighthouse, shaping you towards an horizon far beyond the White House. In mathematics, we say 1 + 1 = 2, but impact plus character must add up to you. Do I need to let you know that the world doesn't move by thought, but it moves by your actions? See, success is a spotlight, but impact is the sunrise. And before the sun rises, darkness sets in, waiting for someone brave enough to light up a match. You see, impact is not always born in the daylight. It is born in the quiet times. In the quiet times when nobody sees you. In the quiet times when nobody believes you except you. Enough of waiting for the light at the end of the tunnel. It is time to bring your light to the end of that tunnel. There is no better tomorrow. There's only a better today, shaped by the choices we make. Impact is not the echo of words, it is the footprint of action. The world isn't moved by intention, it is moved by the courage to begin. So dear dreamers, dear entrepreneurs, dear visionaries, next time, before you think about making an impact, I hope you remember that the word impact is incomplete without the word act. So take action today. Thank you.
Woo. Thank you very much, Poetic Dave. Wow, that was fantastic. Please drop a round of applause for these guys. I want to see the clapping emojis. I want to see all of those reactions. Tell me how this guy, this young man did, saying that impact is actually not complete without the word act. So there is no way you could actually make an impact without act. Dr. Olorun Sheyi, took action over the years and now is impacted thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people across the world, right? So impact is nothing without the word act. That one touched me. It touched me. It touched me, right? And impact can just be you setting up an akara stand somewhere in roundabout and selling to people, because you agree with me, if you're in Nigeria, or especially if you're in Lagos, you know that it takes very strong consistency for you to be an akara person on the streets, because you can't just, people cannot rely on you for breakfast and then you throw them to, oh God. All right, so we're going to be going right into the program. I know we've had the opening speech by Doctor, we've had the wonderful rendition by Poetic Dave. Can we please just jam our hands or jam our emoji hands one more time for Poetic Dave? That was actually a wonderful short performance. Thank you very much, Poetic Dave. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm saying what they are saying online. Thank you very much. We really, really appreciate that. So we're going to be having a wonderful speaker. This man is somebody who the world truly honors so much when it comes to finance. He is a seasoned wealth creation coach, real estate investor, and global entrepreneur with more than 20 years of experience. He is the group CEO of LifePage, an investment holding company that has executed over 23 real estate projects across Africa and manages a thriving multi-million-dollar portfolio. A best-selling author of Financial Freedom Master Guide and a highly sought-after speaker. He is passionate about helping individuals and businesses build sustainable wealth. He holds an MBA from the Business School Netherlands and has co-founded companies across construction, software development, executive education, and agriculture. Through platforms like the Wealth Creation Summit and the Mega Housing Summit, he continues to mentor thousands towards financial empowerment and economic growth. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Leverage 7.0, Dr. Clement Oladipupo. Can we please jam our hands together? I want to see those wonderful emojis, love emojis, fire emojis, to welcome the great man, financial wealth creation coach. Please welcome once again, Dr. Clement Oladipupo. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to believe you can hear me loud and clear. Thank you so much. Thank you. I can't say thank you enough. You know, after I call him Gio, after our convener ended his opening remark, I wondered, okay, so what am I going to now say again now? You have finished all the things I wanted to share. And then the poetic guy showed up. Man, you made an impact. You made an impact with your very short, very concise, very precise, and highly impactful.
What's the issue? All right, Dr. Clement, please, we can't hear you from the studio. I don't know if your mic is unmuted. Kindly help us check for those technical things while we also sort it out from here. We still cannot hear you. We can see you, but we cannot hear you. Please, technical, kindly confirm. Kindly help check from your end, sir. I mean, we can hear feedbacks from us on my own voice, but we can't hear you. I don't know if Dr. Olorunseyi can unmute to help us confirm if it's something from our end, but I'm pretty sure it's.
Am I audible?
Yes, I
Yes,
can
Dr.
hear you.
Olorunseyi, we can hear you. So
Yes.
please, Dr. Clement, could you
I
please
can
help?
hear Dr. Clement now. Dr.
No,
Clement,
we
go
can't
ahead.
hear him yet.
Yes.
Yes, we
Okay.
can.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear. Yes. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. You can go on now, sir. Thank you, sir.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. And thank you for drawing my attention to that. You know, I love that part of Dr. Lawrence's session when he was talking about technology as a passport that gives you access to anywhere in the world. Technology has become literally an equalizer, and if you don't embrace it, you'll be left behind. Well, let me just proceed because we do not have too much time. We still have so much to cover. So I was saying earlier that we are living in incredible times where the world is changing faster than any time in history. And people are feeling it in their homes, in their careers, in their relationships, in their families, in their with regards to their money as well. You know, a global study shows that 61% of people across many nations and markets believe that the systems are no longer in their favor. They feel exposed. They feel unheard. They feel, you know, the weight of uncertainties. There's never been a time in history where people have, you know, been disillusioned like we are in right now. And this reality should matter to anyone who has a call to lead, and all of us are called to lead. And so, and the reason that is so is because trust is dropping so rapidly, and as trust begins to drop, fears also rise. When people can't trust you, then they become more fearful, and that's what we see today. It's no more surprise. It's no more secret that young people, teenagers, you know, are falling into depression, you know, are becoming, suffering from panic attacks and all of that, you know. And when fear rises, what happens, therefore, is that people then begin to look for direction. The world is therefore now searching for leaders who can bring clarity, who can provide confidence, who can provide guidance. I say it all the time, direction is superior to speed. Doesn't matter how fast you are running, if you lack direction, doesn't matter how quickly you arrive wherever, you still be frustrated. So direction is extremely crucial, and that's what leaders provide. I'll be sharing with us today, within the time I have, on the future of global leadership. The future of global leadership. Uh, at a point in history, trust used to be automatic. As a matter of fact, if you mention your title like a pastor, a CEO, president, governor, people just automatically follow you based on your title. If you sat in the corner of an office, people listen, right? If you occupy a role, you have a title or you have a role, an official position, and Dr. Lawrence alluded to that earlier on, and that is where people terminated or ended their understanding of leadership. But leadership has gone beyond that today. So if you add age or experience, you get instant respect. But in the world we live right now, all that is gone completely. So today, trust is built through actions. All right. People follow leaders they believe, not leaders they fear. And this is too important to ignore. All right. They don't follow leaders who are the loudest or who shout the loudest. They follow leaders who provide guidance, who provide leadership, who provide direction. Another research report shows that employee trust in leaders fell from 46% to 29% in between 2022 and 2024. That is a sharp fall. If you check EXEC, EXEC.com, you find this particular report there. It means that people no longer trust leadership by default. What they trust essentially is they trust consistency. And Dr. Lawrence too alluded to consistency earlier on. I was so inspired by his session as well. It would do very short. I'm hoping that I can make my own shots. I have very limited time, but I'll see what I can do. What people trust now is they trust honesty. They trust people who show up with value and who show up with truth. And so let me give you a very short example. There was a young professional I once mentored. And this gentleman built large influence in his office, the office where he was working, not because he had a title, not because he had executive role. All he had was because he became one person everybody could count on. And it is people like this that show up in boardrooms. When people are thinking of who is lifting up the weights, they mention people like this. And the question we should be asking ourselves, are you such a person? Because this is how people emerge, people rise to leadership. The guy was steady, he met deadlines, he gave clear updates, he did not blame others. He wasn't into all this blame game. He owned his work. I'm privileged to have people like that on my team and in business and even in ministry. And I can tell you for free, people like that are almost indispensable. Nobody's indispensable, but the way you make yourself indispensable is by the way you are dedicated to your work. You become almost irreplaceable. Your shoe becomes too big for others to fit in. Soon everybody began to look to this guy before they look to even his manager. You know, you can have title, but you don't have influence. That's why I encourage you, be the type of a guy who shows up, who is consistent, who doesn't play the blame game, you know. And this is the new reality right now. So I want to quickly touch on a few things. Let me talk on a few things that are changing around us today. Dr. Lawrence mentioned a couple of things. That's why I said, what is there to come and share again? Just let us just proceed. But you see, we don't just have trust gap in our world today. We also have a leadership gap. Another global report shows that many organizations admit that they do not have enough leaders to handle today's demand. Leadership shortage exists at every level, in the family, in business, in politics, in ministry. And that's why we must commend and appreciate those who are making a world of difference in their little corner and making the most of the resources that is available to them. Because it's not really what you don't have that hinders you. It is what you have but don't know how to use. Every leader, that anyone you see that is a great leader, is not about the enormous or abundant amount of resources available to them. It's really about how resourceful they become. All right. So many teams are stretched today. Many countries lack directions. I'm glad Dr. Lawrence also referred to Nigeria, the security crisis in Nigeria, and I'm glad for the uproar. You know, even though there have been denials, you know, even from our government, but it's unfortunate. But it also speaks to the type of leadership that currently exists in Africa. Many communities need guidance. The need for leadership as a result of this, you know, impending crisis, you know, calls for leadership. It's calling for a new breed of leaders. And so let me ask you a simple question, just a simple question. Where are the leaders who can calm a room when there's fire on the mountain, when there's tension in the room, right? Where are the leaders who can bring direction when people are confused? It's one of the biggest needs right now. Where are the leaders who can move people forward? You know, we just ended a board and management retreat in one of our organizations not too long ago before joining this meeting, and I can tell you for free, you may want to experience the glory of most leaders, but you don't want to have an idea about their story. And I was glad when Dr. Olorunse also mentioned talking about process, story, and not just success story. People are fascinated by the success story, whereas it's actually a process story. You two are also in a process. Some of the things I'm going to share here today are things that I am better now than I was before. And the better I become, the better the quality of leadership I provide. And that's pretty much one of the key things. And that's why I love what he coined, the human strategy, right? So think about the pressures people face today. You want to be a leader, and the type of leader that the future is beckoning on, the type of leader that the future is craving for, is crying for, is yearning for, then you have to start thinking about the pressures, the challenges that people are facing today. Is it unstable income? Have you seen in Nigeria, for example, where, literally everywhere in the world, inflation is at all-time high. But in Nigeria, it's as though the official numbers don't match with the reality. And income is not rising proportionately. And so it's bringing untold pressure. And this is a call. This is all these issues is what is beckoning for the future leaders that we're talking about today. Is it complex workplaces, work structure? Is it migration or immigration issues? Is it family pressure? Have you not noticed the rate of divorce, separation? Have you not noticed the kind of mental health issues that people are currently facing? Have you seen the rising cost of living? These are critical issues. So you want to be a leader who will not only lead today or influence today, but who also influence tomorrow. You have to start pondering on the challenges that people are confronted with today. While you may not be called to solve all problems, while it is not every problem you recognize you'll be able to solve, it is important that you know that the pathway to making impact, making a difference in people's lives is actually to solve critical problems to them. While I recognize that it is not all problems you solve that will have economic reward, but it is also a path, to wealth. As many of you already know, I'm extremely passionate about seeing people create wealth. I hate poverty with a passion. There's no scripture anybody's going to quote. There's no philosophy you are going to cite that will convince me that poverty is good. Some of the security issues we're talking about across Africa, across the world, are all poverty issues, are all deprivation, hardship issues. Anyways, because of our time, let me say this, a few more things I need to quickly touch on. Because of these enormous challenges across the globe, people are now looking for steady voices. They're looking for voice of clarity. They're looking for a way forward. And so to understand the future of leadership, we must then understand the forces that shape these moments. So what are those four forces? I want to share four of them with you. Digital acceleration is the number one. And I was glad Dr. Olorunse already touched on that when he explained the fact that technology is the passport, is a global passport, makes you a global citizen, right? At the click of a button, you are just a click of a button away from the rest of the world. You are just your camera away from the rest of the world. And just like we are streaming right now, we are all connected from different locations around the globe, and yet we are communicating and engaging with one another. Technology is moving at a pace that many cannot keep up with. And if you do not want to be left behind, my dear brothers and sisters, you have to embrace technology. AI is changing how we work. It's changing how we learn. It's changing how we communicate. It's changing even how we decide. It's changing how we decide, right? I was listening to, I joined a particular cohort, a training with Anthony Robbins a while back, and it was to launch an app where people who cannot afford his coaching fee can subscribe to an app, an AI Anthony Robbins app, where He will provide, you will say what your problem is, and he will respond with the intelligence of Anthony Robbins. That's the realm that we are in right now. Digital speed demands mental speed as well. I always say to people, especially those of us who are beginning to leverage AI, it's important to recognize that AI is not a replacement for your human intelligence. As a human being, you need to be intelligent, right? So for AI to serve you better, your job is to give it context, and then the AI will give you content. Your responsibility is to give it context, then AI will give you content, but you must embrace it. I was glad Dr. Lawrence already alluded to many of these things, so there's no point for me to repeat them. Number two, force that is shaping, the future of leadership is economic pressure. Many countries are dealing with rising costs, like I said earlier, unpredictable markets, and tough living conditions. People want leaders, therefore, who understand the times and speak with clarity about money, about work, about opportunity. Leaders who ignore these realities eventually are the ones who lose connection with their people. The reason why some of the political elites are really not providing direction, they are not touched. They don't understand what is going on. They don't understand what is going on in the polity. They have no idea. So they can't proffer solution. There's no recommendation that will get into their hearts. I recall one time during an economic forum in Nigeria. I think it was Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. At the time, I think she was the finance minister, and the CBN governor at the time also was the current emir of Kano. And I recall him making a statement at that time where he said that he doesn't know how much they're selling fuel. He said because all he knows is he moves from where to here. They take him, is chauffeur driven, and they fill his tank, and then he flies jet, and all of that. So he doesn't know. How can someone who is providing leadership for you, who does not know how much petrol is selling? At the time, it was even cheaper than what we are buying now, right? And he did not know, and people were clamoring, people were complaining, So leaders who ignore these realities will lose connection with their people. The third force that is also shaping the future of leadership is cultural blending. Migration, global workforces. We are now in a new world of work. We are operating now not in just an employment economy, we are operating in a deployment economy. We are now in a world of online communities. All of these things are bringing cultures together. So a leader must now know how to speak across borders, not only within one environment. If your voice, and I say this emphatically, if your voice cannot cross cultures, cannot influence cultures beyond your border, then your influence will shrink. And this is so important. And number four, force that is also influencing and shaping the future of leadership is rising expectation. Have you not noticed that people have a higher expectation of you than they have of themselves? It's so surprising. People want leaders who are honest. People want leaders who will act. That's why I love that poet's presentation where he mentioned that your impact is incomplete until you act. Very powerful. So people are looking for leaders who act, who take action. Too much story, too much grammar. Every object remains in a state of inertia until force is applied. All right. So you need to take action. You want to be among those who are influencing the world, both now and in the future. Then you have to be the type of person who is not just decisive, but who acts, who executes. Like we say in business, execution is the mother of strategy. People want leaders who explain the why. You want to provide understanding. I always like to share it this way. Knowledge is the what. And there are a lot of people who have that. And that's where they ended their learning. Understanding is the why. Wisdom is the how. But people are really looking for leaders who will not just provide them the what, but who also provide them the why. Who will be able to tie things together, use metaphors, use anecdotes, use stories, use experiences. People want leaders who are human, who are not distant. Even those of us in the Christian faith, we recognize this, that we do not have a high priest who is not touched by the feelings of our infirmity. The only reason why we are able to surrender to him is because he understands what we have been through. He understands what we are going through. So losing your humanity is not losing or being human is a major attribute of leadership. And that's what people are truly yearning for and looking for. Leadership has moved from authority to service. If you want to lead, then you have to be prepared to serve. You have to move from authority to service. You have to move from fear to trust. And then instead of control, you have to provide guidance. I always say to people, especially leaders in our organizations and many other places, whether in my inner circle, people who are under my mentorship, I say it all the time. When you have people around you misbehave or there's a misconduct, rather than complain, greet every misbehavior, greet it with guidance, greet it with training, greet it with knowledge, greet it with insight. All right. These four forces are the things that shape the leader the world is really looking for and not just waiting for. So let me wrap up with a few things I believe the new leader of the future must possess. This is like the new leader profile. So the leader the world is waiting for, the leader that the world is crying for, must possess the following profile. Because I have very limited time, I think my time is even up. Please, I would appreciate if you can confirm if my time is, if I still have a few more minutes. The first one that is a profile, and please, in case you are yearning to be a leader in business, in government, in ministry, in family, and all that, then you must pay attention to this profile. Number one is clear thinking. Clarity of thoughts influences clarity of speech. All right. So you must see patterns others miss. You must pay attention to details. Clear thinking, clear thought process is very crucial. You must be able to break down complex ideas into simple action steps. So stop using jargons. You see, Dr. Lawrence, even though he's a PhD holder, you see how he spoke in ways that even people like us who didn't finish school will understand. I'm sure you can relate with that joke. Number two, fast learning. You have to be ready to learn at the speed of light. Learn at the speed of light. You must be given to learning, but also not just learning so slowly, but learning so fast. Learn from patterns. Patterns are predictors of future, and it's so important to learn by observation, learn by asking questions. Right? Nobody has monopoly of insight. Nobody has monopoly of knowledge. All right. The world changes every day. There are over 10 billion pages of information online. And every single day, you have the ones that you thought you knew before is outdated. So you need to constantly upgrade yourself. And that's why you need fast learning. So leadership is a learning assignment, not just a authority or positional assignment. It's a learning assignment. You need to learn about your people. You need to learn about your environment. You need to also learn about yourself. You need to be self-aware. Number three, you need emotional intelligence. These are critical profile of the type of leader that the future is beckoning for, and that the people are really yearning for. Emotional intelligence. People need leaders who understand pressure, who understand stress, who understand confusion, who understand cultural difference or differences, who understand cultural intelligence. This is too important to ignore. A leader who cannot read emotions cannot guide people. And this is so important. Number four is digital fluency. I'm not a tech expert in that sense, but I've learned how to use literally any tool I'm given to it. You see, the glasses I'm using right now is because I spent so much hours in front of screens, either for meetings or for research, for studies or whatever. So I had to get a glass, and it was my friend Wisdom Ezekiel that sent me a message and said, "Guy, I beg, go get glass. Your eyes is becoming thin." All right. Digital fluency, because you have to spend time in front of the screen so regularly. So a leader must be visible, and must be confident online. This is so critical. This is so important. This conference is a mega conference, but it's happening virtually, and you have to be given to digital fluency. Your voice must travel beyond your local environment, your local government. Influence now requires digital presence. What's your digital footprint like? It's a question you need to ask yourself. I want you to take a moment, Google your name. Whatever you find there is what anybody will find about you. Recently, I ran into a couple, an Indian couple, and I had a very exciting conversation. And by the time we were done, I said things that struck a chord with them, and they said, "No, we need to have another time out." And eventually, when we met, I got to understand them better. They understood me better, and then they were trying to get me into something. And of course, because of my schedule so crazy, I can't just commit to everything. So I wanted to really even know who they are, and I googled their name. I couldn't find anything about them, and that automatically just made me to just disconnect, right? And it's important that you all recognize this as well. When people want to do big things with you, except that they already know somebody that knows you, if they're meeting you on a neutral level, the first thing they want to do is to Google your name. What will they find about you? If you don't like what you find, then don't think people will. And people only buy from those they know, like, and trust. People only follow those they know, like, and trust also. So until they know you, they will never like you. Until they like you, they will never trust you. And until they trust you, they will never have anything to do with you. So this is so important. Like Dr. Lauren here says, stop winking in the dark and expecting people to notice you. You may carry so much value. You may have what the world is looking for, but if they don't know you exist, forget, nobody will find you. I've been playing at that level for many years as well. It was this year I decided, well, let me take it more seriously. I've just started myself. So I'm not trying to tell you. Of course, I've been doing a lot of things for years, but it's this year I decided, okay, let me begin to build this thing a little by little, and we perfect it as we progress. Next is community building. Listen to me carefully. Many of you right now joining this call, and I'm sure some of you are already in the Lorenshe community, right? And it is people in the community that act. Audience only watch. Community members, they act on the things you say. They are the ones who buy. It's not everything you have that you can share with the world. The people who will take action from what you are sharing most of the time are your community members. So you must have that profile also where you are building a community, no matter how small. It doesn't have to be a physical one, it just can be a virtual one. And you can do a lot. You must understand this in conclusion, that the future belongs to leaders who can gather people, guide them, and help them grow. So let me give you another very, very, very final touch. If you want to lead in the future, be trustworthy. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Like we say in business, it is better to underpromise and over-deliver than overpromise and under-deliver. Let people know they can depend on you. They can count on your word, right? Number two, be human and be visible. I already mentioned that earlier on. People want leaders they can reach. People want leaders that can speak with clarity. People want leaders who share their journey and story. Number three, be a problem solver. The world only follows leaders who solve real problems. I have decided to tabernacle in the wealth market. There are three markets where there are problems. Time won't permit me to go into all of these things, but let me say this. Number one is the wealth market. It helps people, this market helps people make money, save money, all right? Protect money, right? Multiply money, preserve money, right? Then there's a health market. Is that curative or preventive, all right? And then there's the relationship market, where the one of the greatest needs of mankind today is love, is acceptance, the need for acceptance, the drive for acceptance. And that is what makes that market an increasingly demanding market. So you want to be a problem solver, make sure that you focus on these markets as well. As much as this is not a business program, it's a leadership program, I must also add that to build a community. start to build one little by little. It's one of the things I learned late, but I'm not. It's better late than never, and that's my encouragement to you. Like I said before, and I'll repeat again: a crowd listens, but a community engages. So build spaces where people learn, build spaces where people connect, build spaces where people can grow, whether on site or online. And this way is how you'll be able to create lasting influence in any field. I want to thank you for your listening attention. I appreciate you, and God bless you.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so very much, Dr. Oladipupo Clement. Wow. 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 Please help me drop your favorite emojis. Drop that fire emojis. Drop that clapping emoji. I want to see the energy online buzzing, buzzing, buzzing. Right? It's actually very, very hot despite the ACs in here. Right? He has just dropped bombshell. Thank you so much, Doctor. We really, really appreciate that. Thank you for the insights that you dropped. You know, the fact that everybody is, we're seeing a new era of technology, and AI is basically taking the order of the day. It's marveling, and it's to say that intelligence would also be very much glaring in the usage of AI. So yes, AI has come to stay, but the promptings and how it is being used will determine the output that we're going to be having in this generation. And talking about AI, I'm going to, give all of us a very quick exercise using AI, and it's the one that you all use almost on a daily basis, ChatGPT. Right, ChatGPT. So I'm going to be giving you a very quick assignment. Everybody online, just minimize and go to ChatGPT. You're going to be asking a question from ChatGPT. Now we are going to know what your previous promptings with ChatGPT have been like, and we will see ourselves. So just go to ChatGPT, and I'm going to be putting this prompt based on my previous conversations with you. Use one emoji to summarize me. That's the prompting you are going to be putting in your ChatGPT. I want to see responses. Based on my previous conversation with you, give me one emoji that describes me. So we're going to see the cry babies on ChatGPT. We are going to see the one that are usually always asking ChatGPT to tell them how to make $10 billion working from home without stress, doing 3 hours day work. And we're going to be seeing different kind of people. Drop the emoji that ChatGPT gives you right in the comment section. I want to see the different emojis that ChatGPT is telling us about what our previous conversations with it have been and what will it classify us at. We are going to see some emojis of rolling eyes. ChatGPT will just be like, we don't even know what you do exactly. Please let me see your emojis. Let me see emojis upstage. I am aware we're going to have another wonderful, phenomenal speaker shortly. But while we're waiting, please drop those emojis. I have another prompt for you. This one is even much more better, right? But I just want to see emojis. Technical, they are dropping those emojis, Abby. Fantastic. There's a particular emoji I would be looking for. I would, for somebody like Doctor now, I want to imagine the kind of emoji that Dr. Olorunseyi Sunday and Dr. Oladipupo Clement. There's this emoji that has steam on your head. Steam on your head, more like your brain is sweating, more like you are doing a lot of exercise. Yes, I'm imagining that's the kind of emojis that is going to be, popping out from their own end, right? Looking at their usage of this wonderful system. Okay, so I'm going to be dropping out for Dr. Olorunseyi to come up very shortly. I think he has a few things to share with us. Then I'm going to be coming back to bring in our next speaker. Technical, could you please swap me, for Dr. Olorunseyi Sunday? Thank you very much. Doctor, you're welcome.
Wow,
Yes,
wow,
Mr.
wow, wow,
Audible.
wow. Thank you so much. I believe I'm being heard, right? Oh, Kunle, I can't hear you. So I want to confirm if I'm audible.
Yes, you are very much audible.
Awesome, awesome. That was a powerful one from Dr. Oladipo Clement. And I don't know how soon we can recover. We can't recover from this one. It's so loaded. And on this note, it will be nice for you to help me bring him back on stage, bring him back into the studio so we can just have interaction. One of the things we did build up to this event was to request that our audience over the years send to us questions that they would like you to answer. And we had so many questions, but we decided to just pick a few. So we might be doing just 5 out of it. And maybe these 5 questions somehow will cover, some other people's questions. So one question, the answer to it might answer like 3, 4, 5 other questions. So that was what we did. And we hope that by the time you begin to answer, we are not full yet, don't worry. I know you did a lot to feed us, but I can say on behalf of every one of us following right now that we are not full. We want to eat more. If you want more, please put it in the chat room, whether on Facebook or LinkedIn, or if you're following on YouTube, please say we want more, we want more, we want more, so we can eat and be full to overflowing. While we wait for Dr. Stephen to come up later, we want to go ahead with the fireside chat with Dr. Oladipo Clement. Now I'm going to be looking at some of the questions that was asked. And this one looks like you have answered it already, but they said I should ask you. It says, if you had to summarize your philosophy of global impact in one principle, what would it be? That's a question. Oh, we can't hear Dr. Oladipo Clement. Please, studio, help us. Please go ahead now, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Awesome. Please go ahead.
Great, great. I heard your question and I responded. I didn't realize you didn't hear me. So you asked that what would I summarize my personal philosophy on for global impact? Is that correct?
Correct.
It is service. Service. I've always believed that if you help enough people get what they want, you will have all you want. I remembered years ago an illustration was given of a teacher, a school teacher, who had his pupils in a room, and she wanted to teach them the philosophy of putting others first. And in so doing, they find their own purpose, they find their own meaning. And she had inflated balloons, and dumped them in the room and said everybody, and then wrote each person's name, each pupil's name on the balloon, and asked each of them to go and get it. There was commotion as everybody was seeking for their own. Then he called them out again and said, and appointed one person and said, you go in there and call everybody's balloon, call everybody's name by the names on the balloon. And in so doing, number one, there was order. In so doing, he was able to distribute for everybody and eventually found what belonged to him. The reality is, you are not finding your own because you are not helping people find theirs. Selfish people don't make impact. Selfish people don't go far. If it's all about me, myself, and I, you won't make a difference. You won't even go far. It won't be long. You just will not go far. I don't know if I answered that question.
Wow. Service. You must be willing to give back to the society. Wow. Now, I think this will be like a follow-up question to that. In giving back to the society, someone is asking, which global challenges do you believe African innovators can uniquely solve?
Mm. Mm.
You can mention as many as you feel like, but this person is interested in knowing what challenges are out there for African innovators to solve.
In all sincerity, can you still hear me?
Perfect.
Great. So, in all sincerity, I've always been a strong believer that it is not every problem you identify that you are called to solve, or that you are gifted or talented or even skilled to solve. But one thing is clear. Once you are inclined to serving people, to solving problems for people, um, look into these three markets. These three markets. And I mentioned that during my session. Number one is the wealth market. Number two is the health market. Number three is the relationship market. And I'll try and touch on them very briefly, because I don't know why I'm so time conscious. Maybe because you've given me the agenda, the work, the event field. That's made my mind to say, come, don't over talk any points. Just go straight to the. Anyways, so the wealth market essentially helps people to make money, helps people to multiply money, helps people to manage money, helps people to preserve money, help people to protect money. So whether you are in banking, or you are in fintech, or you are stockbroking, investment banking, private equity, venture capitalist, or venture capital, or you are in entrepreneurship, or you are into real estate, or you run a trust company or trustee company. These are services that are required. Or you are a business coach, you are a consultant, a business consultant. You are in the wealth market. As long as you are helping people to make, manage, protect money, preserve money, multiply the money, that is what it is. And the health market, on the other hand, is either curing health issues, curing illnesses, or preventing ill health or diseases, right? So whether you are functioning from as a pharmacist, a medical doctor, across, and then there are lots of technologies and innovation that has also come into that space today. Just find the one that you are naturally, or you are experienced in, you are inclined to. There are many things I identified. One of the things I personally decided is that if I'm not called to it, I will collaborate with people who are called to it, right? And that can also be one of the things you should consider. Then, so that is the health market. So it's either preventative, preventive healthcare, or curative healthcare services, right? There's also the logistic dimensions to it. There's the process dimension to it. There's branding dimension to it. I can go on and on. There's the back end, front end. I don't want to get it too technical. I just want to keep it this simple. And then, of course, the relationship market. Whether you are an emotional intelligence coach, you are you are a mental health practitioner or psychologist, whether you are a family life therapist, whether you are just a counselor, a clinical counselor, um, that is, or sex therapist, because sex is destroying many lives today now. Everything sexual. We are living in a sexualized world, and a lot of times people get derailed completely. People are battling with drug issues and all of that. These are all part of relationship markets. And the reason why this market are the areas every innovator in Africa should pay attention to is because they are growing markets. The potential is unlimited. It's literally limitless. And there are so many untapped markets. There are so many gaps you can still bridge. No matter who is already playing any of these markets, there are gaps you can still bridge, right, in those markets. And we've seen that play out. You see the kind of business, what a lot of fintechs are doing right now in Africa. some of the old generation bank, even what they call the new generation banks, are not doing those numbers in the first 20 years, right? And some of these fintechs are already doing those numbers in a very short time. So the point I'm trying to make is those are the three markets I believe innovators can begin to pay attention to. I know there are other complex dimensions to this that I would have loved to go into, but let me wait for other heavyweights. Gio
Sincerely,
is a superb coach, so he has all the answers.
we love the simplicity. Please keep it simple that way.
All
We
right then.
want to be able to feel it. We want to be able to touch it. We want to leave leverage 7.0 to take steps. And we love those simple examples that you gave us. Now, this person is going a bit personal, and I would love to ask this. I said, what early experiences shaped the person you are today?
Mm.
Yes.
Mm.
What early experiences shaped the person you are today? Is that how would you describe your upbringing? What personal values guide your everyday decisions? Just around that,
Okay, so I've had so many experiences, and time will fail me to share all my life experiences here. But one that I think is relevant for the theme of this event is the last company I worked before we before we started Life Page, was when I was working with this company. And at the time, I read a book. The book was titled "All You Can Do Is All You Can Do, and All You Can Do Is Enough" by Arthur Lynch Williams. Um, this man's book, I ate the book, as in there are books and there are books. This book, I'm not sure if it's even in print anymore. And in that book, he said, you will win 50% of your competition, right? If you are a person of integrity. And they went on to say, if you are a hardworking person, he said you will win 40% of your competition. He said the remaining 10% are doing just exactly. So if you combine integrity, you combine it with hard work. I know integrity now has been bastardized. Integrity doesn't mean you're a perfect person. It doesn't mean that you have everything under control.
Yeah.
Or you are honest enough to admit and take responsibility. So essentially, that book shaped my life on many levels. And I've had some, for example, I never used to read books. And my first encounter with my mentor, he was teaching on, and maybe that's another example I would give. My first encounter with him, he was teaching on developing a reading culture. That was how I first got to know him. He was teaching on developing a reading culture. Today, my library is one of my biggest assets. I'm a lifelong learner. The mistake anybody can make is to try to work in our organization. You'll be trained. You will learn things. Even just internship, 1 month, you will never remain the same. And I've seen that play out again and again, and it is born out of those type of experiences. It was also in the last organization that I learned about service at a level that I've now carried on with many other aspects of my life, and of course learned that from many other people I've worked with. So I don't know if I made that simple enough.
Like I said, we love it simple. So keep it simple. We love it simple. Now, personally, I know that one of the major challenges of making global impacts, being a global leader, is having to relate with people from different parts of the world and understanding culture, understanding perspective, and like that. So, as a global leader, what has human nature taught you about global leadership across different countries that you've been to?
Acceptance. There is no human being on planet Earth that is not who is not yearning for acceptance.
Mm.
There's nobody that is immune to appreciation.
Mm.
There's no one that is immune to love. They may suspect it at first, but if they see that you are genuine, they
Mm.
open up. And you disarm the hardest of men or women when you are genuinely in love and care for people.
Mm.
People can't deny that. You know, we just ended the retreats not too long ago, and uh, one of our board members said something. He said, "Now, I mean, I've not been in Nigeria. This is the longest time I've been out of Nigeria in my entire life."
Mm.
And he said, "If you are not on ground and this your team were able to drive things and make things happen, and that they took ownership, people can't. People may not. People really don't care, like we popularly know. People don't care how much you know,
Mm.
but they want to. They care. They know. They want to know that you care. That's
Yeah.
really what matters at the end of the day. And that's one thing I found about my relationship with people. Be cautious. Be a good person. Be ready to serve. Right. Treat people the way, not just the way you like to be treated, but treat them the way they also want to be treated. Right. Because that's a superior way actually. Because you treat people the way you love to be treated doesn't mean that that's the way they want to be treated.
Mm.
Find
Mm.
out. So let them teach you how they want to be loved. Let them teach you how they want to be respected. Right. You'll be surprised that just greeting people. I mean, one surprising thing I've seen um, for the few um, for the few years I've shuttled Nigeria and America for, I've come to realize that people rarely greet here. They don't greet. So, but what I found out is even if they don't greet, you greet them,
Mm.
and then they will respond. They will respond. So, yeah,
Mm.
that's what I found to be true. Yeah.
Sincerely, I love that acceptance because we're in a world where we're having a lot of resistance when it comes to global immigration.
Yeah.
And we know that most of the big countries in the world today, they grew because of immigration.
Absolutely.
But I realize that one of the challenges we are having in today's world is that people invade these countries and they don't want to respect their culture, their
Mm,
way of life. They
mm,
want to import their own way of life and culture from where they're coming from into these places and
mm,
force them to do what they believe is right. So, if you want to thrive in any country you get to, that word acceptance is important. You must love them, you must respect them, you must
mm,
ensure that as much as you have your own ideologies, you must
mm.
respect who they are and how they've been able to build their countries to the
Yeah.
point that you are willing to travel there. I think with that, you disarm anyone, no matter how much they hate immigrants. If you can show love and respect their culture and who they are, that is a big code. And I think that is something we should teach
Mm.
across all immigrant communities, regardless of where you are. Thank you
Mm.
so much for that. I still have like three. Sincerely, I've so
Okay.
many questions people sent for you particularly. So let me just let me take another one. This one says let me there are so many. I'm just trying to select which one uh,
Okay now.
answer any other questions. Let me see what this number 7 says. Okay, what are the first steps a leader should take when attempting to expand their influence internationally? And there's a particular question I know someone wrote. I couldn't find it any longer, but it has
Okay.
to do with how can you um, how can you become a global leader when you don't have the resources you know. So I think I couldn't find that question any longer, but I think it's something I want you to speak to. Is it really true that there are people that don't have resources at all?
Okay, so let me attempt to, you are PhD holder. I mean, I'm coming up. So let me let
You
me
were
let
there
me
before us.
let me attempt it. So first is this: you do not. Let me attempt to give you some perspectives, and that is, you see, in life, you do not attract what you want; you attract who you are, and you are the most important critical success factor. You are the constant in every compartment of your life, in every area of life. And so fixing you is fixing everything else. So to expand your influence, you have to become a superior version of you. What brought you here can take you to the next phase of your life. So, and that is extremely important. I've always been a strong believer in the idea that the biggest investment, the most important investment, is actually investment in yourself. And that is where a lot of people miss it. I said it during my presentation that isn't lack of resources. It's not what you don't have that hinders you. It is what you have but don't know how to use. So it's actually lack of resourcefulness. But when you start to invest in yourself, I mean, I know the stories of them, Dr. Lauren Sheyi, Dr. Wisdom Ezekiel, and the rest of I mean, we have friends, and we know how we all started. And we didn't look like people that were going somewhere. We didn't look like people were going somewhere. So I can tell you for free that you need to grow. And every growth is dual in nature. We grow downward first before we grow upward. Gravitropic growth, then phototropic growth. Gravitropic means away from light or toward darkness, right? And then phototropic means toward light. And so the heights to which you will appear in the world will be dependent on the depth to which you also grow. So what you do when nobody is watching you, all the little investment you are making, all the little sacrifices you are making when nobody is watching, when nobody is aware, those are the things that accumulate, compound over time, and then pave way for you. So if you want to make a difference globally, I can tell you, start with yourself. Because ultimately, you really can't give what you don't have. Begin with yourself. Visit, have a board meeting between your spirit, soul, and body. Right? I'll share this also. I'm glad we are even going in this direction, because it was actually my train of thought when I was thinking of global impact. Because I think that you can't give what you don't have, and you can't give it because you don't have it. So there are 6 compartments of your life that you must pay attention to. Dr. Lawrence, I don't know if I can proceed with what I want to say.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead, please.
Okay. So number 1 is your spiritual health. Number 2 is your emotional and mental health. Number 3 is your physical health. Number 4 is your relational health. Number 5 is your business, career, or ministry health, depending on which side of the pendulum. And some of us, we are in all of it. And then number 6 is your financial health. Now, what I've come to realize that a lot of times people are seeking to grow financially. They want to be wealthy, but they don't follow this order. So let me show you what I mean. The first 3 compartments I just mentioned, your spiritual health, your emotional and mental health, and your physical health, describes you. It describes you. You are a spirit, you have a soul, and you live in a body. So you want to pay attention to that development. Now, your spiritual health talks about your vertical relationship with your creator. Now, this is not a religious platform, but it's important to recognize that you need to be in touch with your creator. when God created the planet, He created the fish, called them out of water. In order for fish to continue to survive, they have to stay connected to that source, water. Otherwise, they die. When God was to create plants, He created them out of soil, out of the earth. In order for them to remain alive, they have to stay connected to the soil. If they anything that disconnects them from the soil, they eventually die. Guess what? When God was to create you and I, He created you and I from Himself. So He is our source. And it's often said in Africa, the river that forgets its source will dry up. And that is the whole agenda of distractions and sin and all of those misbehaviors and all of that. The goal is to disconnect us from our source. Now, maintain that relationship. Meditate, pray. For those of us who are Christians, we read our Bibles, serve, be valuable. All right. Time for periodic retreats to intermeddle with all wisdom. That's so crucial. The second thing is your mental and emotional health. Take time to unwind. You know, there's a part of the Bible, and I hope it's not out of place to talk about Bible here.
Yeah.
Where Jesus said, when he was asked which is the greatest commandment, and Jesus said, he said, "Thou shalt love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might." And he said, the second is like unto it. He said, "Thou shalt love your neighbor as yourself." Now, for a lot of us, we focus on loving God, loving people, and not loving ourselves. But you don't love people more than yourself. You know the reason this is so important? The tanker that supplies fuel also requires fuel too.
Correct.
So even if you have a 10,000 liter truck and you want to go and deliver 10,000 liter fuel, you still need maybe 50 liter or 100 liter to power your engine to deliver. Many of us want to deliver the world, but we are not filled. We are not empowered. We are traumatized. Many of us are broken. Many of us are traumatized, right? And we may not know it, especially if you grew up in Africa, you grew up in Nigeria. I remember the first time I came to America and I was trying to cross, my wife and I were trying to cross the pedestrian road and following the pedestrian traffic light. And the moment the thing showed green, I started running as though something was going to hit me. My wife said I was embarrassing her. What was the point I tried to make? In Nigeria, if Okada hit you, tell you that, oh, running, you know, that kind of a thing. So it was that virus. That is how far I've been messed up mentally. And you don't realize how subtle this are. So you need to work on your mental health, is relationship with yourself, relationship with self. That's where we are not talking selfishness, we're talking self-love. Because if you are not intact, if you are not healthy, you can't really serve your world. And then your physical health is talks about relationship with your body, relationship with your body. And this is so important. And then we now have your relational health. Do you now see that the first three compartments is what you carry, is what defines you, and that's what you carry into your relationship. If you are not all right, your relationship will not be all right.
Wow.
And the quality of your network determines your network, like we always say. But who are the people you are attracting? Sometimes you feel intimidated when you see other people succeeding. Their success is not a limitation to your success. It's because you have not come to terms with who you really are. You find it difficult to rejoice genuinely with other people. It's a sign that something is fundamentally wrong. Who told you that somebody flying will hinder your own flight? Who told you that somebody is shining will hinder your own bright, your own shining? Told you. So it is part of those work. So that's the quality of you, of who you are. Eventually, is what you carry into your relationship. It will determine the level of value you bring into your relationship, and the quality of those relationships is what determines the quality of your business, your career, your ministry, and all of that, and ultimately impacts on your financial well-being. I can go on and on for the next 2 hours on that alone.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. In closing, a question from one of the audience. I'm glad to announce that Dr. Stephen Akitayo is in the studio already. So get ready for the next dose. But if you really want him, please, he's to type again, we want more on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, across all platforms. If you don't type, we want more, we might not get more. So put it there now, we want more. We are not full, we want more. Finally, for you, question from the audience. What legacy do you hope to leave for African diaspora and global entrepreneurs?
I'm glad you asked this question because it's one of my life goals.
Mm.
And I will mention it, even though I typically only say these things in closed rooms. So one of my life goals is actually to raise 1 million global entrepreneurs, global millionaires who are entrepreneurs, 1 million of them. And we're taking it one step at a time. I didn't become like this overnight, and I'm still a work in progress myself. And I know many people are going through their own process. And Africa is rising. Let nobody be deceived. There are, just like God told Elijah that there are 7,000 prophets who have not bowed their knees to bow. There are several of us. And there are several that you have not heard their names. Don't be surprised when you start to hear of them. And I personally, is part of my life commitment, is part of my life. That's my that's one of my legacies, among several others. I think I should leave it there.
Wow, 1 million millionaires. Now, because I've been with you for about 2 decades now, I can confirm this has been on your lips for so many years. And we are there already. I love the aspect of giants are rising from Africa.
Absolutely.
The next generation of innovators are coming from here. Nigeria in particular, our average age at the moment is still less than 19. We have a young, vibrant, intelligent generation of young people in Nigeria. Forget all the other negatives that you are hearing about that country. We are blessed having people like Dr. Oladipo Clement, Dr. Stephen Akintayo, and all the amazing people making waves globally. I tell you, the world should watch out for what Nigeria is about to give to it. Dr. Oladipo Clement, thank you so much. We appreciate having you on this platform, Leverage 7.0. You made it felt real, tangible. We are not missing the fact that we are not on ground in person. We so enjoyed your session. God bless you. And to our amazing people back in Nigeria in the studio, I will pass it back to you. Kunle, you are doing an amazing job. God bless you. I hope I'll be able to coil my hair like yours very soon. Right? Back to you, Kunle.
All right. Thank you so very much, Dr. Sunday Olorunseyi and Dr. Clement Oladipupo. It's actually been a very wonderful session so far on Leverage 7.0, and it's been hot back to back. I mean, I say a lot of person talking about we want more, right? Says what this has been and how powerful it has been. Thank you so very much, Dr. Clement Oladipupo and Dr. Sunday Olorunseyi. Our next speaker is live with us. So I'm going to be reading his profile shortly, and the next voice you are going to be hearing is that of our next speaker. Don't worry, I will not call his name just yet. All right, our next speaker is one of Africa's foremost investment coaches and a global respected real estate entrepreneur. He is the chairman of the GTEX Holdings, a multinational conglomerate with interest in real estate, digital marketing, consulting, technology, with operations across Nigeria, the UAE, the UK, and the United States of America. A serial entrepreneur and prolific author of over 40 books. He is passionate about empowering individuals to build sustainable wealth through the Stephen Akintayo Foundation. He champions initiative focused on education, poverty alleviation, and community development across Africa. A member of the Forbes Business Council and the recipient of several international awards. He is celebrated for his visionary leadership, resilience, and commitment to raising the next generation of African business leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the one and only Dr. Stephen Akitayo. Please, drum rolls, show me your best emojis, and the next voice you're going to be hearing is Dr. Stephen Akitayo. Sir, you're muted. Kindly unmute yourself. You're good.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you're good.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm glad to be here. I want to appreciate the organizers for making this event a great one. I'm trying to have the background to reflect what I was told, but I'm not sure it allows me to. I thought it was going to be automatic from you guys' end. But can I continue like this without using your background? Moderator, are you there? Is anybody here? Hello? Okay. Can anybody hear me? I'm not able to know whether. Let me see.
All right, sir. It's nice to have you. We're so excited. Yeah, I think for the sake of time, it will be nice that we just proceed. I wouldn't know if you change the orientation of your phone, maybe to landscape. Let's see what it will look like.
Okay, that's fine.
Let's see what it will look like. Okay.
Is it better?
Yeah, maybe you position it so, okay. Yeah, I think the frame it's a bit better. Yeah, because if we have to set the background, it might take a little time, so we can just go ahead. I think the audience can confirm that we are good. If we are good, just put in the chat on YouTube, on Facebook, LinkedIn, just say we are good, we are good, we are good. Then, all right, they said we are good. Dr. Stephen Akintayo, we're glad to have you. Please go ahead.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Let me say congratulations for the 7th edition of Leverage. That's really powerful. I'm happy to hear that this has been going on for 7 years. The organizer is a great man. I mean, his exploits in the real estate sector and the impact. And he's also a clergy. I don't know if most people know. He's also a pastor. So Dr. Olorunse is Sunday. Can we celebrate him? We can just use those clap signs and the team who put this together. Just let me celebrate everyone. Our last speaker, Dr. Clement, I've known him for over 10 years now. So another phenomenal powerhouse, great session with him as well. Incidentally, I would have said he stole my idea. I have a vision of raising 1 million millionaires, but thank God he had an eyewitness that said he came up with the idea 20 years ago. So we both have a very similar. And it tells you how eagles think alike, flock alike, act alike, do things alike, and it's just the way the world works. I want to share a few principles on going beyond border. And my first principle on how do you go beyond border? How do you think global? How do you make a global impact? The first thing is vision. You see, there are many characteristics of the eagle bird, but one of the major characteristics of the eagle bird is that an eagle can see her prey, from over 1,000 feet above the sea level. The eye of the eagle literally will just calibrate and can see what is so tiny on the ground. Okay, and so if you're really going to go global, make global impact, you're going to go beyond borders. You must see what others are not seeing. Oh, you must see. I'll give you a practical example. I operate in many sectors, but one of the most prominent is the real estate sector. So 2020, we started planning to do 1,000 housing units. And then by 2021, we announced it, we started campaigns, and then I think we sold about 12. So I got contractors to site. First contractor started work, and before he hit his milestone, he would tell us we are owing him money, and because we're paying him per milestone, we're paying prepaid, not even postpaid. But to our surprise, he will not even hit his milestone and then tell us that we needed to pay more money. And then that happened about 3 times. So we decided to change the contractor and then went for another contractor. To our surprise, the same thing repeated itself. We changed like 4 contractors and it kept repeating itself. And so the team were angry with those contractors. I said, no, we need to look deeper. We need to think deeper. We need to review what's going on generally in the environment. Then we realized that COVID-19 had led to massive inflation in Nigeria. Okay, so we said, what do we do then? This is early 20, this was 2020. And then by 2021, we said, okay, let's expand our housing project so we do more housing, whether we're the ones building it or we're just investing or we're just buying. We do that more in Dubai, outside of Nigeria. And in Nigeria, we focus on more of land. Now, I'm talking about vision, the power of vision. 4 years down the line, our Dubai businesses, our international businesses are profitable. Okay, our Nigerian businesses are not as profitable, but in the real estate sector. So if we didn't have vision, right, ability to see far, like the eagle bird, ability to think deeper, ability to analyze from a global perspective. Now, what will have stopped us if we say we can't go global now? I mean, Nigeria is where we started from. Nigeria is where we will remain. You see? So it begins with vision, but you see, there is no vision without critical thinking. I often say that one of the biggest problems that people of color, minorities, many of us have is mental laziness. Everybody, you can type in the comment box, type mental laziness. We can't be mentally lazy, whereby instead of just thinking deep, bigger, right? The Bible says, as your eyes can see, as far as your eyes can see, that's what God talking to Abraham. He said, I'll give it to you. Now, you cannot have a vision if you don't think big. So you have to think critically, but you also have to think big. Many of us are scared of thinking big. We're even scared of big numbers. If I tell some of you now, how much do you want to make in the next 10 years? Can somebody type? I'm happy I'm able to see some of your comments. What did you type? In the next 10 years, if you ever thought of it, and I'm not talking of impulse statements. How many of you literally know how much you want to make in the next 10 years? I know. 10 years from now, I'm working on having $40 billion worth of property portfolio. Isn't that big? And I'm crazy enough to think it, crazy enough to believe it, crazy enough to work towards it. So think big. These are elements of vision. Sometimes we say vision. You keep saying vision, vision, vision. It looks complex. What is vision itself? Vision is another way of vision. Let me give you a very unique definition of vision. And this is quite popular. It says the best way to predict the future is to create it. So what is vision? Vision is creating the future by your own intentional design with the help of God, if you're Christian, right? I believe this is not a church event. Okay? Now, for those of us who are Christians, we design the future, but we Ask God. We bring it to God. Say, write the vision that make it plain that you may run that read it. He did not say, let God write the vision for you. And we've had religious leaders also teach this in the wrong way. But they are pastors. Oh, we wait on God. God will do. Hey, any religion that make God absolutely responsible for the outcome of your life is an irresponsible religion. You and I have the responsibility to dream, to craft the vision, to then present the crafted vision to God for his permission, for God to enable us with grace to execute it. But to fold your hand and say, what will be, will be. That is not how you go beyond borders. So think it through. You have what it takes to say, I want to have an office. We want to own businesses all over the world. All over the world. You heard me. All over the world. No exception. Now, will all of that happen in my lifetime? No. Right? But crazy enough to start the foundation. Crazy enough to think it through. Crazy enough to say, this is where we're going. And you owe yourself that. One of the missing links, particularly those of us who are faith-based people, is that we could be quite mentally late. The God will do it. No. Craft the vision. Think it through. Make it big. Start small. Think big. Grow fast. Start small. Think big. Grow fast. Start small. Think big. Grow fast. But think big anyway. And as much as you've thought so big, don't ever start it big. Only the grave starts big. Only the grave starts from the top. Everything great starts from the bottom. Only the grave starts from the top. So yes, you must think it big, but you must not start it big. So how do you then think big? I believe that's the next question that's come to your mind. Is it think big? How do I do that? There's not enough money. All right. I'm even struggling to pay my bills right now. But Steven said, think big, think big, think big. How do I even do that? Now, here's the strategy I did. 17 years ago, I came up with a 50-year goal plan for my life. Running my life today like a script. The rest of the world is surprised. The rest of the world is saying, "Ooh, wow." But for me, it's a script that was written 17 years ago, and I'm in the 17th year. Write down your vision as though money is not the problem. In other words, come up with a plan for your life as though you have all the money to execute it. Listen, anything I want to do in my life, and this is one of my biggest secrets, I think about the money last. I think about how big it can be, how unique it can be, how the impact it will make, the lives it will touch. Then money will be the last thing I would then think about. And this is why many of us don't dream big, because we're always scared. We're always having this mindset that if I think it big, if I dream it big, where will I get the money from? So when crafting your vision, make sure that money is the last thing you think of. Don't think it as though you have all the money in the world to execute it. So I'm giving you guys a few assignments. Write down your next vision for the next 12 months. Then write down your next vision for the next 5 years. Then write down your next vision for the next 10 years. If you can dare, then you can do 20 or more. Okay? You can do 20 or more. By 2035, I'm coming up with my 100-year vision that I'm handing over, okay, to the next generation. And my goal is that by the time I'm 80, I come up, whatever year I've used out of the 100-year, I'll do another 100. But so the blueprint for the next generation is on ground. So you have that right. You have the right to do that. I know it sounds ridiculous, but you can. The next thing, you want to go global, you want to make global impact, vision, erase. The next, after now you know where you're going. The next is your network. People always tell me, Dr. Stephen, what do I really need to succeed? Is it hard work? Is it smart work? Is it network? My answer is simple. You need the three. Okay? You need the three. I have a new book. I'm doing my birthday on the 31st. birthday is 28th of January. But I'm celebrating it on the 31st. It's going to be an annual lecture, right? And on that day, there are 4 things that we're doing. We're doing groundbreaking for 1,000 housing unit. We're launching, we're naming a street after Bishop Oyedepo, who is one of the keynote speakers at that 40th birthday. We are, on that same day, we are, what other thing are we doing? We are also launching 3 of my books. And one of my books is Millionaire Habits, right? Your habit determines your decision determines your destiny, right? But I'm doing the 3rd series, which will be launched on that day. And the 3rd series has a subtitle called Hard Work plus Smart Work plus Network equals to billions. Hard work plus smart work plus network equals to billions. Usually, many of us stop at hard work. Some of us gradually we try we include smart work, but we stop at that and we don't have network. 5 years ago, I started the journey of real network building. And oh boy, I now saw why all of it had work behind it. Hard work. You see? Hardness and work. Smartness, but there's still work. Net and work. Network. There's still work in it. And I can tell you categorically that networking is one of the toughest things to do in the world, and that's why people don't do it. Oh, that's why people don't do it. Very tough. Oh, very tough. Okay? Very tough. And also very costly. Very costly, very costly. Very costly. Right? Comes with a lot of cost. So you must understand that if you will execute this great vision that you've come up with, which is to go global, make global impact lives all over the world, change lives globally. Now you have the vision, what it's going to look like, where you're going. Now, who are those who help you get there? Is your network. Because ultimately, some of the major crises people have had in business is because they didn't have the right network to stand up for them. Are you aware? True story. Now, how many of you know Elon Musk? If you know him, just type I know him. Do you know if Elon Musk were to be a Nigerian, Elon Musk will have been in jail by now? Call a scammer, call a fraudster, call anything. And I'll paint a picture. Elon Musk launched his new brand of electric cars. And then people, because for those of you who may not know, Tesla cars are if it's brand new, you have to pay ahead before the car is ready. You pay in advance. That's the model it does. It's prepaid. Okay, except if you're buying a used one. So people have paid for Elon Musk car. He said he was building gigafactory. He ran out of funds. There were delays, 2-year delay, 3 years delay. The factory is not ready. The cars are not ready. He was indebted to the neck. The US government bailed him out. He got the Saudis to invest with him. Okay? But who built Elon Musk's out? Network. He knew the president of America. He knew the royal family in Saudi. So many of the challenges great entrepreneurs have faced has been largely because they just don't have the right network to build them out on their way to execute their vision. And on your way to greatness, all hell will break loose. You have all manner of challenges. This is just normal. It's the way life works. It's normal. It's real. It's real. It's not because you offended God. It's not because the witches from your village are most powerful. Greatness comes with crisis. Period. Right? Audacity comes with crisis. Expansion comes with crisis. Growth comes with crisis. I remember a pastor friend of mine called me and I saw a vision. You know, you had some challenges with a government agency. You know, when he was done with his vision, I remember saying to him, I said, man of God, can I shop you? He said, yes. I said, for the next 5 years, you hear all manner of story about me because I am expanding my business. And with expansion comes crisis. Not expecting it means you did not calculate your vision well. Yes. Growth comes with crisis. Prepare for it. Expect it. Stand gidigba like Iroko tree. You are the one that know where you are going. You saw what God showed you. God did not show them. He showed you. Right? The people talking about you, the people complaining, they didn't see where you're going. And that's why you must have the right network. Because in your moment of crisis, if you don't have the right network, what happens? The wrong network will pull you down. They will pull you down heavily. I often say this. Poor people don't want you to leave them. So the day you are growing your enterprise, your vision, and you run into crisis, we told you, we could warn you. Come back to our level, come to reality. Don't leave us. And then rich people do also want you to join them. That's why you always say, who is the son of who? Who is his father? Where is he coming from? Right? How dare him try to do something this big? So you really have to fight your way up, ladies and gentlemen. You have to. But you are the one God showed. He didn't show those people. It was Abraham that saw that he's the father of nations. Hey, others didn't see it. So they could mock him and say, you don't even have one child. And then you say, God say you are mother. But Abraham, I heard God. God showed me. So run with your vision. Connect with the right set of people who can hold you, encourage you, inspire you during the crises that come with actualizing any great God-given vision. And that's why you need those relationships way before the crisis happens. Way. You know, April this year I went viral. People negatively complaining that I charge up to $18,000 to mentor people. And I remember one of my mentors, they reported me to, did not even bother asking me, you know. He just was replying all of them. I said, I don't know what's wrong with you people. I just paid my own sons $20,000 for a 3-day course. The man wants to mentor you for 1 year and you're complaining. Please, you know, he just kept giving everybody word for word, word for word, word for word. I said, you guys are not serious. But that tells you something very, very powerful. Very, very, really, really powerful about life, about right network. Because can I shock you? If that mentor was not the right kind of network, what will he also be saying? They are complaining about you. Did you hear what they say about you? But because he's the right kind of network, and he's also been through his own crises as well. He's done big things all his life. So you understand the faith of somebody just saying something negative. Are we learning here? If you're learning, please type, I am learning, I am learning, I am learning. Last but not the least, it's called EBA. You can call it EBA. And I call it emotional bank account, right? And I will stop there because of time. Emotional bank account. The reason why many of us struggle to build the right network and to achieve our goal and to go global is because we don't have the right, we don't invest in emotional bank account. I see people meet people and just make demands that don't make any sense. I just finished speaking before I came here. I'm in Ghana, and I spoke at the Global Entrepreneurship Festival to a team of thousands of entrepreneurs. A lot of high net worth people were in the room, you know, billionaires in dollars, you know, great network. And I remember I just finished the conference, went out, and then this lady walked up to me and then she said, I sell Zobo. I'm trying to understand, like, what do you mean you said Zobo? I'm trying to understand. So at some point I had to then say, so how can I help you? I don't even have time, you know. And then she said, well, give me money. She went straight, oh, give me money. I don't know. I don't do it from anywhere. I don't owe you anything. And the right thing you think is to just say, give me money. Okay, just give me money. And I want to show you a powerful secret that will, one, help you attract the most powerful people in your life, anybody they are, and help you achieve your vision and help you to really make global impact. And it's a simple formula called emotional bank account. And it simply says that every human being has an emotional bank account. You do, I do, everybody else do. And the rule is very simple. Before you withdraw from an emotional bank account, you must deposit. Before making a withdrawal from an emotional bank account, you must make a deposit. Your wife has an emotional bank account. Your husband has an emotional bank account. Your employee, your boss, your pastor has an emotional bank account. Okay? You must deposit before you withdraw. So people always ask me, Dr. Stephen, your birthday is coming, Obasanjo is coming, Bishop Widibu is coming, governors, presidents, top class king, Alaki, everybody's coming. Like, hey, who does that? And you're just turning 40. What's going on? The answer is emotional bank account. Invest in people's emotional bank account so that you can withdraw easily the day you need to. And you must do it in advance. So, an example, and I'll give a marriage context. You're married and you need to travel for 3 months in a stretch, and your wife won't see you for 3 solid months. And you need to break the news to her. How many of you agree with me that it is better to create a 1 month period that you go on movies with your wife, you go on vacation with your wife, you go on dates with your wife, and you will have loaded that emotional bank account. And when you now finally come and say, dear wife, I need to make this trip in our own interest, because that trip of 3 months is a withdrawal. Okay? It will be easier for your wife to allow that withdrawal because you've done a few other things to credit that account. This is the reason why sometimes you even see people misbehave and people make excuses for them. Emotional bank account, EBA, don't ever forget it. I'm sure you remember EBA, right? So, how many of us have noticed? And that's why Ecclesiastes said the race is not for the swift, neither for the strong. Time and chance happened to them all. How many of you have seen people who just get away with so much and you almost feel like they don't deserve it? Have you noticed that the smartest don't end up having it? The strongest don't end up having it. The people you expect to really be in certain places and all certain things don't end up having it. The answer is simple. Those other people take another word for it is the compensation advantage. What is your compensation advantage? What is it? What is it? And I'll share this story and I'll wrap up. Most people do not know. I, Stephen Akintayo, I am very, very introverted. Believe it or not. Today, almost everybody I talk to, they say, no, we can't believe you're introvert. We can't. Okay? In fact, except you have a personal relationship with me, you would think I'm the most arrogant human being you can ever meet. And in reality, I'm just an introverted person. What is not my business is really not my business. If you don't come to me, I won't come to you. I just guide my space and I just move my way. Okay? But it is not good for business. It's not good for entrepreneurship. You can't make impact in silence, in secrets. You can't make impact locking yourself up. You can't make impact all by yourself. You must interact. You must connect. So what did I do? I decided to have a very robust, loud social media. Most people don't know we are four of us that manage my social media. Very loud. You think this guy is, this guy they talk. I also trained myself to be a good speaker, and I organize good conferences of my own as well, right? So that at least at my conference, I'm the organizer. I'm also able to deliver, also able to speak, and also able to connect. And also, I get to be invited to speak at events. And because I've spoken, most times the people would then come to me because naturally, I'm not the person who enters a room and I want to greet everybody else. It's just not in my nature. But I've come up with a compensation advantage for it. It's similar to emotional bank account. You must look at your life, look at your person and say, if I will make impact, how do I compensate? How do I credit people's emotional bank account for the result that I need? How do I compensate for the weaknesses that I have? For the again, what we call weakness also is a strength because I'm introverted, I am also a very good critical thinker because I'm able to have enough time to meditate, to think deeply, and to really craft solid vision. But I must understand that that strength could also be a weakness because I need people to achieve a vision. I need people to make impact. I can't do it alone. So, compensation advantage, right? EBA, emotional bank account. Leveraging on these things, ladies and gentlemen, you are now ready to make global impact and you're ready to go beyond borders because it doesn't matter where you are, value is value anywhere in the world. And it doesn't matter who brings the value, black or white or yellow, the world celebrates value. The currency that nobody rejects is value. When you drop value on the table, the world cannot but accept, celebrate, and treat you with the dignity that you deserve. And if you understand these three things, vision, networking, emotional bank account, compensation advantage, there is nowhere they throw you to in the world that you not make impact. Once again, I want to thank the organizers for bringing me. I'm grateful. God bless you.
You need to say wow, 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 wow. Please go to the chat room now, be it on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and just make those beautiful comments. This is amazing. Now we have people in Lagos on ground, even though it's not in-person conference. The studio is also packed with people because those that have attended for the first 6 editions, they can't just imagine sitting at home. So they still came together and they're in Lagos in the studio. Thank you so much. Man, you know the highlight of this presentation for me? When you said the poor people don't want you to leave them. The rich people also don't want you to join them. So you're gonna decide. Do you want to stay with the poor or you want to move to the rich? There is no middle ground. There is no vacuum. It's either you decide to stay with the poor or move over to the rich. And you can't make global impact and remain poor. It's not possible. When we started business, we cracked the millionaire code very simply. We told ourselves we weren't trying to become millionaires. We were working at making other people millionaires. The simple code was make 100 people millionaires and you will never be poor. And before we even hit 100, we were already millionaires. Today, we talk millions in all currencies of the world. And as a Nigerian, comfortably, we can say we are billionaires. But it all started with a vision to make other people millionaires. So you must tell yourself, I'm not going to remain at the middle. It's either you want to stay with the poor people that are beckoning, come, come, come. Don't leave me, don't leave me, don't leave us. Or you want to scale up to the rich. Thank you so much, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. We won't allow you go yet because we had hundreds of questions sent particularly for you, but we are only able to take 4, just 4. And we're just going to interact together. This is amazing. And it's good that we have it on record for people, even after this live session, they can go back on all of these platforms to watch. Thank you so much once again. And with that, I will just take a few of the questions that people sent particularly for you. The first one says, Dr. Akintayo, your reach now spans several continents. What was the spark that made you realize your impact could be global, not just local? That spark, what was it?
Crisis.
Hmm.
Many of my breakthroughs, people see me as a genius, but now Allah carry me. To even become an entrepreneur, it was still crisis. I printed 100 CV. I did a cover letter that said, "Don't pay me salary until I prove my value in your organization. Don't pay me for 6 months, and nobody will still give me a job." So thank God I started business on campus. The third person said, "There's no job. The business you start when you're on campus, continue it. If it be small, one day it will get to where it is." So I'm an entrepreneur today. Yes, I read books on money, I read books on entrepreneurship, I started business on campus, but I was realistic that I needed a job at a phase in my life and I was willing to get a job. Okay. But I didn't get one. So that crisis forced me to be an entrepreneur today. So going global, like I said, came also with crisis as well. I used to go abroad, do courses, but I never really was ready yet to start opening offices and start running businesses in those countries until dollar moved from 190 to 400 to 500. In my very eye, we were poorer the following year than the previous year, even though we made more in Naira. We can't continue like this. Okay? We're trying to build houses, and then inflation was hitting it. And I was foresaw crisis that if we collect 1,000 people, we're already 12, and we're having this headache. If we collect 1,000 people's money, and this inflation continue like this, they will pieces our name left and right. Like we will not have any reputation left. And not because we're a thief. It's just the perception that, hey, I gave you 46 million naira. Suddenly you told me you needed 70 something million to complete the house. How now? But that's not me. That's the economy of Nigeria. That crisis made us to say, let's cuckoo sell in the countries where their currency is strong, inflation is low.
Yeah.
Right? But today, when people see all the clubs, they say, "Oh, you're visionary. Oh, you're in Dubai. Oh, yeah." When our carriers go there. So don't waste any crisis in your life. Every crisis has the money potential. Every problem is loaded with wealth. So don't let any crisis go to waste. That's my summary. Maybe one day I'll write a book like that. Right? Maximizing crisis, right? It will be the title.
Crisis to comfort.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is amazing. There is money potential in every crisis. So, our audience, you might be there going through one crisis or the other right now. That might just be God showing you the problems you are called out to solve. I love that affirmative answer. Crisis. And maybe this next question might be a follow-up to that. This person says, you have expanded your business to Dubai, to US, to the UK. He said, each region has its challenges. Now, I can testify to this being a global businessman too. What has been your biggest lesson? Expanding across these different regions with their unique crisis.
Well, biggest lesson is that, no perfect country in the world. That's the biggest lesson. You know, until you start running business internationally, you think the Western world is better,
Mm.
right? You see, even those countries have their own challenges. For example, the kind of returns you can get in business in Nigeria, you won't get it in developed parts of the world.
Mm.
The kind of regulation in developed parts of the world, if you are not careful, you are just working for the government in those parts of the world. So no country is perfect. Every country has its own unique challenges. Ask those who have Japan, they will tell you that every country has its own unique challenges.
Mm.
So what is the lesson? Just diversify for the sake of the fact that all these nations cannot crumble at the same time. Even when there was global economic crisis, the UK was not hit. UK real estate was not as hit as the US real estate because the global economic crisis of 2008 was the real estate crisis that led to it. But the UK market was more resilient than others. What does that mean? If you had real estate in the UK, you won't have a drop in value
Mm.
like it did in America. So you diversify so that you're spreading your risk across regions, um, with the understanding that if something hits this one, it won't hit your other one. Like I said, Dubai business is one of our most profitable today.
Wow.
Okay, but if we didn't make that move, okay, when we did, we will also be complaining with everybody else, Nigeria stuff, everything, you know. And so today I follow you to complain so that you won't say I don't empathize. But in reality, we're good.
No perfect country in the world. So regardless
Yeah.
of where you're looking at doing business or working, or you want to jackpot to, like they say it, no perfect country in the world. So take note of that. And I love that answer. Very scintillating. Now, another question for you. I said I'm going to take just 4, and maybe you just give us a closing remark. We have hundreds of questions people sent just for you. This says technology has shaped your recent work, and they want to know, how did you leverage technology to do what you're doing? For example, I know people see you on social media, you're very vocal, and you've just shared a code, a secret today that you're actually an introvert, but yet you've been able to make this happen. So somebody wants to know, how did you do this? How did you come to have 1 million followers or millions of followers across different platforms? I know you've been in this technology thing for long, even before it became the big thing. From the
Yeah.
day of your, is this like, is it SMS or something?
Yes.
And
SMS, email marketing,
email marketing. So it's
social,
you
social
don't,
media week.
you don't think, not be today.
You don't say, and you're very right. A lot of people don't know that side of me because real estate development in the last 10 years had just made people not know. In fact, sometimes people get irritated, like, how can a big man like this be this active on social media? And I've also brought my mentor, Dr. Cosmos, into that madness. And, he's so visible today that everybody just keep telling him, how are you doing it? Of course, they always tell us, say, that's Stephen, that's Stephen, you know, that's Stephen, and it's really helped his business in a way because there's been a season where the younger generation didn't know him, and and the man has been in business for 50 years, so the young generation don't know him. And I remember having a strategic session for over 2 hours in my office. He came to my office and I broke it and said, I'm about to introduce you to the next generation, the younger generation. It's going to be tough, we'll go viral sometimes negatively, but overall will impact these young people, and it will also have its benefits for the company as well. And we thank God for where it is. In fact, before your event, I just finished. We just did a 3-way phone call of Dr. Cosmos introducing me to someone that's been on his neck that he must introduce me to her. and top business person wants to leverage, and they're going to say he's not into social media anymore. He's just doing it for me, and I can't introduce it to him for social media. If you all buy property, so the person that says yes, I'll buy his property. I say, okay, at this point, I'll introduce you. I'll introduce it to you. So it was the three-way phone call, the three of us. But I think I started early leverage, and that's why if you notice, I'm on AI. I just wrote 5 books on AI. I don't even know if I can give you guys. Let me see if you guys can scan this code.
Okay.
I'll try and see if it will work. You can download 5 latest book I just authored on AI. It goes for $20 each on Amazon, but I'm going to allow you have it for free. So just scan this QR code. I hope it's visible. Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming closer. Let's see. I will try from here once it goes out. Yeah, it worked now. So, guys, you see one of the big benefits of joining this. You see, and you have to do it in few seconds. Things like this don't stay for too long.
So even those who are pastors, one of the books is AI for Pastors, How to Use AI for Evangelism. So I have always jumped on technology, and actually I'm diversifying from real estate in the next. We have, but I'm now going to be publicly pushing the diversified brand from next year. So for example, my introduction is now Sassy Holdings from next year. Chairman Sassy Holdings, which is a private equity firm, and that's what I'm pushing. So we're going to be investing heavily in AI companies, investing in companies, and just take over companies and just restructure those companies, change leaders, get CEOs and stuff like that. So I'm going to be big in the AI space from next year.
Awesome.
Okay. But yes, go ahead.
Freebies you just gave us.
You're welcome.
Please go to the chat and just say thank you, Dr. Stephen. Thank him across all platforms, please. Go ahead, sir.
So leverage on technology. AI is the next thing. You just have to read as much as you can about AI. So forget any other tool that you haven't used. Focus on AI. For example, from next year, I will no longer be physically involved in posting content, neither will any of my staff. I'm creating and I have a new AI software. We're going to be selling it that anybody can subscribe to it and it will become your AI agent. It will create content for you, like you, post the content, reply people on all your social media pages, even convince them to buy your product and services. And it's not a human being involved. So we're testing
agents, guys.
we're in the testing phase of it now. And by next year we'll roll it out. So you don't need to post yourself. You may not even post on social media for 1 year and everybody's talking about you. Everybody's saying you do magic. And if they tell you now, probably quickly rush to your page and see and say, that's your last post. We hail you. Meanwhile, not even the only thing the human staff will be doing is to proofread what the AI has created before it goes live. That's all. So AI is the future. Jump on it. Read as many books as you can. Follow. Go for conferences. I'm doing like 2 programs, one with MIT, one with Harvard on AI next year. Just investing heavily to grow myself as well. And that's the rule. Invest in yourself. Make sure your learning budget is heavy. This year, I'm almost hitting $200,000 on my learning so far, right? I started the year with about 30-something thousand with Grant Cardone. With conference was 25,000, and the cost of flight, hotel, and all that. Harvard cost me about 60,000. And I'm paying that 60,000 every year for the next 3 years. I can go on and on different programs. I just met a new billionaire as well. 14,000 went on that one. Um, because there are three ways to really get mentorship. Okay, three basic way. You earn your way, meaning you can get to a point where, as a result of all you've done over the years, you enter any room, everybody listen to you and open the door because you earned it as a result of who you've become. But that will take some years, right? The other way is to pay your way, right? And then the third way is to serve your way, right? These are the three ways you network. These are the three ways you build relationship. These are the three ways you step up. But I always advise do the three, right? Do the three. Work on earning your way, work on serving your way, and work on paying your way. Because certain location, you have to pay your way. In Nigeria today, I have earned my way, right? I can write a letter to any governor and they will be willing to host me just based on who I am. Okay? But I enter America, I have to still start a journey of earning my way in America. So it means that at the beginning, I will need to pay my way. You see now, go for courses here to meet my colleagues. For example, I told my wife that my Harvard classmates, I'm the poorest. She thought it was a joke. She met two of them, went to their house. My wife, when she went to, she said, honey, not true. She be like, so that you be, that you be the poorest. Okay? So be willing to enter rooms where you are not the big man there. Be willing to. And a lot of people can't do that. They can't do that. Be willing to. It's sometimes uncomfortable, but enter that.
Oh my God, guys, I don't know. Right now it seems like it shouldn't end, but we just have one more question to go, and I know somebody must be hoping. Let it be my question. Let me be my question. Now, listen. If you look at what Dr. Stephen has done today, he has x-rayed almost everything. You see, I smiled when you said people complained about paying $18,000 for mentorship. If only they know. Now, see an example of how much he has expended this year alone just to connect with knowledge and with people. And $18,000, you're just starting. For some of us that understand what it means to mentor people. In fact, my first book I ever authored was on mentoring. And so I know the importance, right, of mentoring. And interestingly, the title of that book was Leverage. That was where leverage started from 7 years ago. Leverage, how I gain global relevance through mentoring. That was the title of the book. So if you understand what it takes to be mentored by the right people, you suddenly realize that a journey that should have taken you 20 years, you can get there in 2 days with the right mentor because they take you to the right room. And once you are in that room, and especially if you are sitting on that table, your life is transformed forever. Finally, the question we asked Dr. Oladipo Clement that has to do with legacy. I know you said that part of you also want to do 1 million millionaires. Eagles think alike. But we're still going to ask you because we're interested. We want to keep following you and want to look out for those successes in the future. So what legacy do you hope to leave for the African diaspora and global entrepreneurs?
Well, one is I have said it, many times that what I want to be remembered for is not the richest person in the world, which yes, by the time I'm leaving this earth, we will have redefined the definition of being rich. Right. In fact, our name will be synonymous to wealth. And I can say that with all confidence. But the legacy I want to leave is that I was the one man who democratized wealth, who literally created the platform, the opportunity for people to have access to what the rich will never let people have access to. Like I said, the poor don't want you to leave them, the rich don't want you to join them.
I so love that.
So I want to be remembered as the man who finally say, Omo, those rich people that don't want to join them, Omo, you must join by fire by force. Okay, we break the door open for you. We are coming, coming. Don't let them know. Enter, enter, quickly, quickly. That's one major legacy that I want to leave. That people that in my lifetime, there will be millions of people who have become wealthy because they read my book, they watch my course, they attend my conferences, they were part of my reality TV show. I'm starting a reality TV show in January. They were part of they watch something that I do that turned their life around. Absolutely.
Wow. This is the time to say wow, 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 wow. Guys, please, I want to see you in the chat celebrating this great man, man of global impact, and is here with us today, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. We cannot thank you enough for making time out to speak with our audience. Seventh edition of Leverage 7 of Leverage, and it's been hosted by the Olorun Sheyi Foundation for these 7 years. It was when I was preparing for my 40th that we decided to start Leverage 7 years ago. And for me, that's part of the way to give back to the society. We will continue to do this by the grace of God. It's a symposium. It's not just a conference where we talk, we do the talk. And it has created impact across spheres of life. And today we have so many mentees in our network that have gone on to become global leaders. And courtesy of people like you that come on our platform year after year to add value to them. I'm excited to have you today. And we can only pray that God that has given you wisdom will continue to multiply the wisdom. And this is just the beginning of your greatness. We are looking forward to your 40th birthday.
Yes, you have to come to Nigeria. We
Yes,
must be part of it.
say it.
Pastor Lumide is coming. Everybody's the whole world is there, so you can't miss you.
So guys, say oh my loud God that birthday. Write it in the chat room. Oh my loud God. Look forward to it. And we say we love you from the depth of our heart. Please clap your hands as Dr. Stephen Akintayo feels free to exit the studio. We know you're a very busy man, and
Thank you.
Waiting for you after this. Thank
you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this amazing audience. You stayed glued up until now. I want to thank the team in Lagos. You did an amazing job. Technology did not mess up, and we must be grateful for that. I'm in North America right now, precisely in Dallas, Texas. Dr. Stephen is in Ghana. Dr. Oladipo joined us from Atlanta, Georgia. And when I checked the chat room, I saw people from Australia. I saw people from Canada, from different parts of the world joining in. Thank you so much. I thank the team in Lagos. You guys have been amazing. I thank the Pertinence Group. They worked with us tirelessly, especially my business partner, Mr. Wisdom Ezekiel. Thank you so much. I thank all our speakers. And most importantly, I thank my family, my wife and children for being a very strong support for me all through this journey. We started Leverage together from the very first year, and they are still here standing, and together by the grace of God, we will do it forever as Jesus keeps us alive. I want to take you back to Lagos as we just do some house cleaning finally before we close. We have some goodies for you, just like Dr. Stephen gave you some goodies. We also have some goodies for you from the stables of the Pertinence Group and also from our bank, Genius by Petty Save. So I will just allow them do that briefly, and I'll be back to close with us. Thank you. So Lagos, over to you.
Elderly person looking for where to buy a home, and you're trying to move out of Lagos State to somewhere where you can live in tranquility and peace, I recommend somewhere for you, which is Ire. I'm not just giving you words, but I'm giving you facts. So I'm introducing something to you which is a bit away from Lagos State. It is just 15 to 20 minutes away from Ikeja, Lausa, and it's in the heart of Mowe, and that is Ire. When you're talking of a land that has the best perfect, let me say the best title in Mowe, I bring it to Ire. Ire is covered by a global sea of and is right inside the heart of Bluestone Garden City, which covers a total expanse of about 400 to 500 acres of land. But Ire on its own is seated about 50 acres of land. Why are you choosing Ire? Ire is made up from 3 wards, which is Inhabit, Resort, and Enterprise. Inhabit section is where you can live in peace. We have good town planners that have designed a very good layout, and we made sure that we took into cognizance every details that can make a home a home. Talking about necessary setbacks, airspace, and also vegetation that you need for your well-being. I move from the Nabi section and move into the resort. That's an area where you can relax at dawn or in the evening time. So very close to where we have a natural stream is where we designed as a resort. Come with me. When I talk about the final part, which is the enterprise session, the enterprise session is what gives you chance for you to do what we call business, or possible times as the commercial section of the estate. So when we talk about commercial, it can come in form of areas where you can do your buying and selling, a mall, an eatery, or at the same time, you can even have a school within the estate. Because we know for an estate to be functionally efficient and sustainable, you don't rely just on only residential area. The other collage that will make up the great puzzle, and those are the things we have put together to give you this product. Well, for young investors, you can buy and also sell later. And for those that are looking for where they can retire, Ire is the perfect location. Thank you.
Wow. I know that you have had a great time today at the Leverage 7.0. Now, if I'm to ask you how your experience was, I'm sure you have something to say. But don't forget this, that great events don't make great people. It is great decision. Decisions you are making today will also determine the progress, the greatness you are also going to record come Leverage 8.0. I want to believe that you have gotten one or two things from the speakers, our global speakers today, and I'm sure you are going to go home, or you are going home already, or you are at home with tangible information for you. Okay, so I also want to encourage you, follow our convener on all social media platforms at Sunday Olorin Sheyi. Follow our convener on all social media platforms at Sunday Olorin Sheyi. We also have a global leadership community that is being owned and managed by the Olorin Sheyi team, and we want you to be a part of it. Of course, if we have your emails, I'm sure you are going to get this link in your inbox before you wake up tomorrow morning. And if not, you can as well follow Olorin Sheyi on social media platforms, and you'll get access to joining the WhatsApp channel. I know you have learned something, and I know Leverage 7.0 has been a blessing to you. So I want to celebrate you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for staying till the end. Thank you. And thank you to all the guys in the studio in Lagos. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We love you. We celebrate you. Thank you. And see you at Leverage 8.0. Bye.
Wow, I want to start by saying a very big thank you to each and every one of us
that took time out to be a part of this event today. There's nothing we can do against technology. Technology is a wave.
I know you said your father never achieved what he was supposed to achieve, but that was his generation. This is your own generation.
Percent in 7 years. What if I told you that there is an investment that has yielded over
I want to start by saying a very big thank you to each and every one of us that took time out to be a part of this event today. There's nothing we can do against technology. Technology is a wave.
I know you said your father never achieved what he was supposed to achieve, but that was his generation. This is your own generation.
But you must come into association with skills, with wisdom, with understanding, and then with speed.
percent in 7 years. What if I told you that there is an investment that has yielded over 2,000% in just 7 years? Not cryptocurrency, not a startup, but pure investment in real estate. Welcome to Boys Town VIP Gardens, Ipaja, Lagos. Come with me. An environment built with class. VIP Gardens by Pertinence, Boys Town, Ipaja, Lagos is a very well developed area, 10 minutes from the Muritala International Airport. Unfortunately, sale in this estate is closed, except you're going to be rebuying from somebody who already bought. That is a testament to the fact that you don't wait to buy real estate. You buy real estate and wait. I have very much land opportunities for you to key into. Let's go. Boys Town, Ipaja, Lagos was selling for just 5 million naira. It's no longer news that 7 years ago, VIP Gardens by Pertinence, Boys Town, Ipaja, Lagos was selling for just 5 million naira.
But as of today, it would be a steal to get it for even 100 million naira. With close proximity to the Muritala Mohammed Airport,
5 minutes from Command Day Secondary School.
A very well developed area with a very amazing price that will wow you. Come with me. This is La Vida Prime.
This place is just 10 minutes away from Boys Town. And guess what? It is selling for just 20 million naira if you buy today. Imagine what that is going to be worth 5 years from now. La Vida Prime is just 7 minutes drive from the Command Day Secondary School, 17 minutes from the International Airport. Owning La Vida Prime is owning a piece of the future for the price of today.
See you at the other side of profit.